What time is it? It is Tarot Tuesday. You know where it is. All right, so today we have a very different quick spread. I'm going to just go to the core. The cards all expressed today. Hey, we're just going to start really picking up because the first couple spreads we did in the first 2 months was to give you guys an understanding and a feel as to how they talk and how they guide you. Now it's time for you to follow suit and continue to move forward. So we're going to make this real simple. We have deck A and deck B. Pick your deck. As you funnel and pick that deck, we're going to look at some of these energies over here, okay? So we're going to start we had Ganesha last week who was telling us yes. And then we had the Temple of Lapis Lazuli, which was telling us to step into our wisdom and our authenticity. We had the Arrow, which the Arrow was then telling us all about keeping our eye on the goal, achieving what we were looking for, and not letting go. We had the energy of the Sun, and then we had the energy of Neptune at the sacral and solar plexus chakras. Then we had open your heart to wisdom with Jesus. We had Moses telling you to take charge of the situation. We have Hilarion telling us the truth will set you free. We have Isis in this deck then telling us again that you're activating special magic from your lower dimensions. We have the Mist, which is telling you that you're going to clear out something that has been, kind of foggy in your life. And then we have the Dolphin at the top with 40 telling us that everything's okay. The Dolphin telling us that we have to start analyzing how we manipulate our own energy and our rhythms of life so that they start working for us, okay? So this week, as we dive into it, we're going to pick this deck. They already told us to set this last week, which was Pluto. This week right here is going to be all about super huge transformation. Yesterday was 11/11 on the timestamp, but remember, time and space is an illusion. So if you're watching this at a different space and time, it's totally okay. This still applies to you. Take what serves you and leave what doesn't. So we're going through a transformation phase that's going to hit our intuitional center on Neptune, is going to bring us towards abundance with Jupiter, and is going to bring us towards ascension with the Sun. Now let's go ahead and pull these cards out. We're going to start off with the Energy Cloud card. The Energy Cloud card is telling us the shadow is the main focal point for this week. You have to start diving into your shadow and asking yourself not only hard truths again within your shadow, but maybe start looking at the previous weeks, okay? When we started off the month of November, we had this energy right here, the Mist. There was something blocking us. Then the Arrow was telling us to focus on the goal and go with the goal, okay? Well, then we have the Shadow telling us that today is all about the shadow. So how about we reverse engineer what was working against our goal originally? All right, so we're going from here. We ask our shadow what was working against our goal originally, and by tacking on to this, you'll be able to understand why it is that there was a mist in general, and you'll be able to pick out the pattern next time if it's going to happen. All right, the shadow is also telling us that there's going to be some sort of truth that comes to you that you may have not been expecting. So definitely, it might be a hard pill to swallow, but it's time to swallow it. If you need any energy healing, you can go to the shadow card update when it is released, and definitely check that out. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the Isis card, which is Truths Unveiled, okay, and the revelations of Isis. So here again, this week is all about blue, the throat chakra, evolving, finding some sort of truth within the shadow, because again, this is another blue associated card from the Grand Master. We know that the shadow is tied still to the throat chakra. Then here we have again truths unveiled. If you've been watching my Instagram series of the chakras being the throat chakra alchemy, this is exactly what I've been talking about. This is the whole entire series right here that we've been talking about. So really, you need to go down into your shadow, pull out those really dark things that you don't want to like deal with, or maybe something you've known is there already and you're willing to do it. I've been killing a lot of my like self-sabotaging behavior, forcing myself to be more in alignment. Then we have Saint Germain telling us to work your magic. So this is going for everyone this week, and so is this. So their main message is telling us stay focused, all right? Because we're all going through a shamanistic change. 5 equals change, and the shaman card comes out and it's telling us that we're in ecstatic states of madness right now. So you need to definitely go with the flow, stay focused, and don't let go of that manifestation, because so far we're doing great with all of these energies. All you really want to do is focus right here, stay focused on your ascension and work your magic while you're diving into your shadow, finding your truths and unveiling them. All right. And then we have the heart chakra, which is really now starting to tell you the guidance that you need. Venus, Mars, the moon, and Uranus. So there's something inside of your heart chakra that has been stopping you from living your most authentic self, and it's got to change. It's something that's really hard to swallow. And this one's really funny because just a couple days ago, I decided to myself, I'm going to start traveling more because that's something I've been wanting to manifest more. And I feel like I can be a better healer and I can be a better educator if I start traveling more and I'm able to share the experiences of going to like really magical magnetic spaces around the world. Like I really think that's just something I need to do. And I started instantly looking up tickets to travel to these beautiful sacred places in Egypt, in France, and that's my next manifestation. I'm going to start creating content for you guys, sharing the beauty that I channel through these places. So I started really thinking about that Mars concept. And the biggest change is like, okay, I've always been waiting for other people so I can go do it, like my friends, to be in alignment. Well, you know, this is my spiritual path. Sometimes I have to be okay traveling by myself. And then I started realizing that the reason why I have not traveled for a while is because of my PTSD of, you know, like I had this subconscious pattern. Even though I'm not really dealing with PTSD anymore, I still have this pattern of always being in a certain kind of radius because that makes me feel comfortable. How about I break that subconscious pattern that we have in the moon and we break it with the Uranus energy? I don't want to be that person anymore. I feel like I have more that I have to deliver to my community, and I cannot deliver it anymore just being stationary within Detroit. And I've been seeing a lot of my friends doing the same exact thing. So if you've been feeling that call, definitely something you really want to pay attention to, because that's why you're feeling that, okay? They're telling us the warrior of vessels. A lot of things are going to be happening right now. Do not lose track of what's going on. This very much so goes in alignment with stay focused. You might be having a lot of projects, a lot of appointments. You might be wanting to do a lot of self-work on yourself. This is why, okay, when we're looking at our energy and our habits, the dolphin is telling us we need to really analyze how we're spending our energy in our everyday life with, you know, what our routine is, what our diet is, like what works for you and what does not work for you. And when you really start honing in on that, you'll be able to be even more focused than before. Okay, so if you guys feel like you need like a sheet or something that I need to throw up together to help you guys kind of really understand this, just shoot a comment down low. I usually just kind of like start waking up in the morning and I'll be like, okay, these are the next things that I got to do today. These are the most immediate things. And I force myself to take care of those things no matter what. And it's super hard. Trust me, it's going to be hard, but you can make it happen. They tell you, don't be overzealous, okay? Stay happy. Don't be overzealous. Victory is close by, but you need to definitely not get ahead of yourself. You need to learn, especially with this Warrior of Vessels card, you need to learn to kind of like say, I need time for myself. Now it's time for me to stop being lazy. I need to go do something. You know, you need to always, you have to be your own coach. You need to be your own guidance system at this point right now, so you can really stay focused, because this is, especially the shamanic card always tells us that there's something happening right this second that has to do with, you know, testing ourselves. Like, we are testing ourselves in this moment of truth, right? And I said that verbatim yesterday to my partner. I was like, I really feel like the universe is now testing me. Like, I manifested that I wanted to really step into education more and help like those in my community who were really tied. Like, this Patreon community is exactly a manifestation that happened. And I was like, I really feel like I'm being forced to make more and more content. Like, I have to start keeping up with content. And he was like, you mean you are doing this to yourself? He said to me. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, if reality is me, then I'm telling myself that I need to change my habits of not just making a video a day. I need to get in the habit of making several videos a day and getting in the flow of that, or a couple posts a day. You know what I mean? And it's very interesting. So because of that, the rune of the birch, which is purification and rebirth. Birch medicine is amazing medicine. If you have chaga mushroom is all about birch, and it's all about being able to like rebirth. It's really good for killing a bunch of cancer stuff. The birch is not only a protective quality during this time, but it's also something that's telling us, hey, purify yourself. Get rid of things that don't serve you again. So there's a very huge concept here. Right now, you need to, again, stay happy. 6 is staying happy, and the material will come to you just fine. 2 is telling you to stay happy again. And the union card comes up. So the union card is all about allowing you to spend time with those people that you most care about. And that's where you're going to start pulling out a lot of magic. I definitely had a very romantic night yesterday, just kind of connecting at a soul level and meditating with my partner. Like, that was really, really almost like refreshing for me in general. So if you have a partner who is willing to meditate with you, then meditate with them. Do some energy work with them. If you, don't have a partner, meditate with yourself. Like, be the other half of yourself that you may feel is lacking. If you don't feel that you're lacking that's amazing. Keep going with it. You got this, okay? Take another deep breath. Let's dive into this, okay? So before we read those cards over there, we're going to do these, okay? So I'm going to start off with deck B, because that's what I organically led to, all right? So in deck B, right now is a moment for you to definitely keep moving. Don't stop moving. Stand in your own strength, and be willing to walk away from things that don't matter anymore, especially if it's yourself. If there's portions within your shadow that are limiting you from transforming yourself, you really need to walk away from that, because that's not going to help you too much. The Fool, we have the universe here, and the universe and the Fool is basically always telling you, hey, like, you're in ecstatic states of madness right now. Go with the flow. Like, all the magic that's happening to you is because it's supposed to be happening. And the more you embrace it, the more you allow yourself to just go with it, the more you're going to get from it. You have to understand that Ascension is a lifestyle. And as your lifestyle continues to dive deeper and deeper into Ascension, you will eventually have to acclimate your life. Like, you're not going to be able to live the similar lifestyle that you've always lived, whether it's, you don't meditate every day, and now you all of a sudden have to start making time for meditation, or you notice that every time you eat a certain kind of food, it's really bad for you and you feel gross, and then it gets out of your system and you're like, oh man, but I just love that food all the time. Cut that food out. Ascension is a lifestyle. At this point, you have to start forcing yourself to step in your highest vibration in every subtle way possible. That way, you're not even dealing with a lot of the same level stuff that's going on. You're focusing on things that actually matter. You know, one of those things that I've been doing lately that matters, I've changed my diet, and what I'm really focused on is all this 5G energy that's going off from these cell phone towers, because that's not healthy. And I don't want to only help myself, I want to help my whole entire environment, okay? So that's something you really kind of have to start analyzing for yourself. Who are you? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Keep focusing on your goal. Align yourself with the manifestations that you're looking for. And make sure you're not lying to yourself. There's something inside of your subconscious that tells you have rose-colored glasses, and that you seem to maybe like play down the situation, or you know, you are somewhat, I don't know, just disconnected from reality to some degree. You try to give other people like the benefit of the doubt. You need, in order for you to really be authentic with yourself and align yourself with your most authentic magic, really, like the throat chakra alchemy classes series on Instagram has been talking about, you have to be real with yourself. You have to know when you have to cut something out and when you can keep something in. And sometimes you analyze something and you know the truth about it, but you shame yourself for feeling that way. Own it. At this point, Ascension is knowing who you are. And especially like if Lady Nada is telling you, like if you're dealing with something with your family, it's time for you to just kind of relax, you know, understand that sometimes if you're fighting with a family member, one of you might be more mature. How many times have we not heard of someone saying, like, I have a parent that's pretty much like a child and I've always been their parent? If that's the truth, then understand that you're at a different level of consciousness than whoever you're struggling with. And if you're not struggling with anyone who is, dealing with any family issues or anything like that, well, maybe it's time for you to start focusing on creating your own family at this point. And that can be a spiritual family, that can be a traditional family, that can be just reinforcing the relationships you already have with people, because sometimes we dive into these scenarios of pursuing ourselves and we really disconnect from other people that have been influential in our lives. Everything with a grain of salt. Because right now it's a time for you to evolve and reap the harvest of your manifestations. Very, very, very good deck right here. Like very straight to the point. The last rune is pretty much telling you that you're supposed to be harvesting. So if you just kind of like listen to the messages from here, you will be able to seriously move ahead. In this deck we have Neptune, we have Pluto still happening, and we have Mercury, and then we have an Ascension node again. So this is all telling us that we're going to be working more in the subconscious realm. If that's what you've been kind of like wondering about, whether it's like your psychic abilities or anything like that. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take these cards. Definitely, it's a moment for you to have a deep breath, because you're going to have a lot of happiness and contentment coming your way. Like there's not much you need to worry about. Like you have this, like literally take a second to breathe and chill if you picked A, because awesome things are coming your way. You have nothing but happiness that is going to start manifesting in your life. Just keep doing whatever you've been doing. All right. They're telling you just to make sure that you listen to your intuition and that you stay happy, okay? Because you need to be aware of your surroundings, okay? Always be looking out for the manifestations that are happening around you. Always be looking out and being aware of yourself as well, because remember, if you're aware of yourself, you can be very aware of the environment if you kind of do it in the style of energy, as above, so below, so below, so above, okay? The medicine wheel, you're manifesting. You're in a high peak version of manifestation right now, and the medicine wheel is telling you that you got a lot of luck, you got a lot of joy coming. Just keep doing what you're doing. Think right now what your practices have been. Did you stop and you meditated yesterday with our manifesto podcast? If you did, on 11/11, you were doing it. Did you take some time to meditate yesterday on 11/11 in general, even though you didn't listen to the True Manifesto podcast? Have you been changing your diet? Have you been kinder to yourself? Have you been going to sleep sooner? Have you been waking up sooner? What have you been doing? That right there you've been doing, own it. Keep doing it, because you're on your rhythm. Okay, that's the rhythm that the dolphin is talking about. That's that hot rhythm. Okay, for those of you in deck B, you guys got some rhythm that you got to pull out, that you got to fix. Okay, last card is clear and shield your energy. All right, very good right there. And Mora is basically telling us meditate. That's what I've been doing too. Yesterday I started meditating, and I started really just owning a lot of my alchemy in a different way than I ever have before, because that's what's going to bring more of the same, which is, you know, like these good vibes. If I'm always practicing my alchemy, and I trust my alchemy and I trust myself, then I'm going exactly where I need to be, and I'm always where I'm at, you know, if that makes any sense. And then we have the daylight card. I mean, so much sun is shining. Definitely, if you've been analyzing anything in your shadow realm that's been pointed out here, good job. You've been doing some amazing work. Those of us in deck A, because I definitely picked deck A myself, we have been doing our work. We've been definitely making it happen, okay? And you just got to keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Don't let anything take you down, okay? So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to look over here with these final 3 cards, all right? So the first card that shows up is, give me 2 seconds. The healing card is at the top of the deck. Sometimes I lose track of these numerologies from like the Greek system, the Roman system. So the healing card tells us that we are right now in a moment of receiving gifts from spirit and the alignment energies of the body, heart, and mind. All right, so we have invisible protection right now. Changes in our spiritual practices and therapies such as yoga will definitely be advantageous for us. But there are 2 other things that we need to pay attention here to incorporate with our generalized healing, okay? So we're first going to look at the sound card. So that one's the one on the left, and that one's 6. And that was basically telling us that we have inner harmony that manifests itself as faculties of communication, new friendships, intuitions, and forebodings, okay? So basically that's cards just telling you right now, like, we're manifesting, and if you're going to be connecting with your friends, if you're making new friends, like, honor that. Like, I know I've been doing that. I've been really connecting with my friends and just really trying to, like, blast that. But the 5 card is called collapse, and it means that if you're not careful, there might be crisis or loss of stable points of reference, difficulty in remembering that one has friends and allies, okay? So we cannot ignore our friends, nor should we not make new friends. This moment right now is all about building community for each and every one of us, especially if you did the Stargate Manifesto 11/11 meditation. Isn't that what we all aligned ourselves to do? We ended up making a huge astral generator for the temple people to manifest from, right? So that you're not doing things on your own. This is all in alignment. Check out how this, like the healing card and these decks right here, were all in alignment with those main concepts over there. We know that they're both leading to healing and staying focused and dealing with our shadow self and pulling out truths and working our magic. We know which one of us have been walking what path, rather the yin or the yang. Definitely have been walking yang over here. You've been doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. Analyze how you've been doing what you're doing. you're going right where you need to go. If you're over here, you're supposed to be making a bunch of harvests, really clear out your relationships. Both people are dealing with relationships here, where everyone's dealing here with community. So then the last thing that we're going to do, so now we're all in Ascension, the Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter. So Jupiter is abundance, Mercury is wisdom and knowledge. The Ascension node obviously speaks for itself, and the Sun is another really cool aspect, which is telling us that we're still ascending. So this is our reading for today on Tarot Tuesday. I had to take a deep breath because, wow, there was a lot of energy coming off of that. Remember that this last room, I never read it at the beginning, but that one's Fate. It's blank. It's a really good week, you guys. It's amazing. Do everything you can to express gratitude for everything amazing that's happening to you right now. Really own it. Fall deeper and deeper into your manifestations and just simply love. Okay? Remember what the Law of One tells us, that love is this present moment, and that the Creator is love. So the Creator is this present moment, and that present moment of the Creator is love. And now when we see other people, they are the Creator, which is that same concept we just addressed. And now when we see in the mirror, we are the Creator, which is the same concept that was addressed. And allow yourself to really fall deeper and deeper into those powers, and you'll see your life unfold in magical ways. Don't let your shadow slip you up. Don't be afraid to dive into your shadow. If you feel like you've been attacked by someone at any point and moment in your life, you really need to stop and focus. How are you participating and allowing your psychic energy to be pulled out? Last runes here. Success is awaiting all of us. Just, again, stay focused. And then the biggest problem of all is actually to stay focused. But thorns and the rose is another protective quality. The rose has thorns that protects us, but it also will hurt us if we are not in alignment with our own wisdom, okay? So we are protected towards our success. Doesn't matter which deck you picked. We know what we need to work on, healing ourselves, focusing on our shadow, staying focused. You got this. Sending you so much love.